Hello, Sagittarius Rising. It's Mandy Ray of Ecstatic Astrology. We're going to go over the October and November forecast for you. Right now, we are at October 27th. That's when I'm recording this. So, pretty far into October. Yeah. You'll have to forgive me on that. But Saturn square my Mercury, which is in Sagittarius incidentally, and it's been rough. It's been rough. That happens actually November 10th. You guys will all get to experience Mercury square Saturn from these signs. So let's dig into it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you where the solar eclipse was for you, where the coming eclipse is for you. I'm going to share these infographics here. So what we have is, I'm going to go ahead and say, where's my stamp? We're here. We're at the 27th, okay? But we're going to go over this, the 14th, the solar eclipse in Libra. For you, that happened in your 11th house of networking, goals, the future, large groups of people. And it was a South Node solar eclipse. So you're letting something go there. And it may be a group that you belong to, a group of friends that you no longer get along with, or ways of hanging out with people. You're just seeing something that doesn't work. Sagittarius risings may have had something happen around that day where you were like, let's get out of here. I cannot deal with people who do this. And it's interesting because Venus is in Virgo and it was ruling the solar eclipse, and that's in your 10th house of career. So you have that to think about, right? So it's like, if I want to, do this in my career, maybe I need to reach out to a different group of people, or I don't need to be in this group anymore. So that's just something to note about the solar eclipse. But right now, we are at the 27th and 28th. And we're about to have the lunar eclipse. So we had the solar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is a North Node lunar eclipse, but it's really weird because the North Node's in Aries, the full moon's in Taurus. They're straddling that cusp, okay? So Aries for you is your 5th house of creativity. Taurus for you is your 6th house of everyday life and work. So for the past 18 months, you had the North Node in Taurus, your 6th house. Work, habits, health, healing, daily life, doing it every day, developing that area. But now the North Node is in your 5th house of creativity and joy and fun. And that's what's going to be developing from here on out. This is kind of like the closing down of this 6th house transit. Okay. It's okay, I've done all the work here that I need to do and I'm good. But Mars and Mercury are in the 12th house, which is retreat, self-reflection, transcendence, release. It's needing to take a break. And you got them both happening at the same time, right? So this could be a little bit of a moment of, I'm so busy, but I also need some time to myself. And it can be a little triggering, especially with Mars and Mercury opposite Jupiter. Jupiter's in your 6th house of work. You may have a lot of it. Mars and Mercury in your 12th house of retreat. You may not be totally connected to it right now, and that's okay. I'd just say, try to keep yourself grounded if you can, and try not to, do too many psychedelics, because that's kind of what this would suggest you might be doing, because you want to just escape. Okay, so beware of the escape part of this. But the other thing is, this is very developmental for your work, your daily life, your routine, and your habits. Okay. Now, we can look at also Venus in your 10th house. Venus rules Taurus, which is where the lunar eclipse was. Venus is ruling both the solar and the lunar eclipse. So Venus in your 10th house is career, authority, public image. And it's interesting because that is what is being developed if you look at the ruler of the full moon in Taurus, okay? And it's maybe getting recognition that you haven't gotten before. Maybe feeling like this area of your life is a little more stable than it ever has been. And then going back to that need for retreat and self-reflection, okay? All right, so then we've got Venus trine Uranus. Venus in your 10th house of career, Uranus in your 6th house of work, service, habits, health, and healing. So this is great. Something in your career seems like it might change, okay? And for the better. And I love it. This just really presents an opportunity, a change. If you want to make a change in career, this is the time to do it. This is the time to jump on opportunities. That's why I have the dice roll there on the graphic. All right, so then let's go on to November. So we've got November 1st, the sun. Whoop, well, that was weird. I didn't know I could do that. The sun opposite Jupiter. Okay, the sun is in your 12th house, retreat, reflection, transcendence, dreams, kind of lack of clarity sometimes, delusion, disillusionments, confusion. The 12th house is very abstract, okay? But the thing is, the Jupiter transit is in your 6th house of work, healing, habits, rituals. And this kind of brings back up the lunar eclipse. It's still happening, basically. With the sun opposite Jupiter, you're still having these themes come up. And it's extra. People are extra around a sun opposite Jupiter. It expands the fire of the sun. It is spicy. It's extra spicy, actually. All right, especially with Mars and Scorpio. This may just you probably will feel the intense need to escape around that time, okay? Or just get away or just be in retreat, and I don't blame you. So then November 3rd and 4th, Friday and Saturday, Venus opposes Neptune. Venus is in your 10th house of career. Neptune's in your 4th house of home and family. And so there may be a little confusion or cloudiness around that. It's like, which way do I go? I'm not totally sure. And then Mercury, which is in your 12th house of retreat and reflection, is opposite Uranus in your 6th house of work. So these two, actually 4 areas, can be a little unstable, a little confusing. Luckily, Saturn's going direct, and Saturn is in your 4th house of home and family. Okay. So this makes that the integral foundational part of what you're doing right now. And I think that's a good place to focus this weekend to ground yourself, is at your home and with your family. And there may be some clarity that comes out of Saturn direct there. Now we're going to look at Venus trine Pluto. Venus in your 10th house of career, bringing some balance and some really nice gifts there. Trine Pluto, which is in your 2nd house of finances. So hopefully this is empowering for your money, for your security. And then Mercury, which is in your 12th house of retreat, is trine Neptune in your, let me double check this. Where is Neptune? I can't keep up. 4th house of home and family. All right. So yeah, this looks like a time when you may be feeling like things are coming together with career and money, and also with being able to spend some time at home with your family, and feeling in that place of spiritual alignment. Things kind of click into place Monday the 6th, and I really like that. The 8th, Venus moves into Libra. Now, this is something new, okay? Libra is your 11th house of friends, networks, long-term aspirations, and goals. And Venus in Libra brings really beauty, balance, love, even abundance to this area. And, you will be probably being very social around it. Just remember, at the end of the month, Venus will hit the eclipse point there. So there may be someone or something that's not working out for you in the end in this area of friends, networks, and goals. Okay. But this whole Venus and Libra transit will bring that to light. Now, we're going to look at Mercury and Sagittarius square Saturn. This one's interesting. Okay. So Saturn is in your 4th house of home and family. Mercury is moving into your 1st house of self. Mercury is going to square Saturn on the 10th. Okay, so this may have a lot to do with how you feel accepted in your home or with your family, or work that you have to do on your home, or maybe the way your family and home affect your identity, your independence. It does feel like blockages sometimes, and it's coming from probably the home and emotional security area, or from the identity, instincts, independence area. And then the next day, Mars opposes Uranus, which is also kind of upheaval. All right. Uranus is in your 6th house of everyday life and work, and Mars is in your 12th house of retreat and reflection. Okay. So what we got going on there is Mars bringing some inflammation to this very abstract subconscious part of you, the 12th house. And it's opposing Uranus, which is change in your 6th house of work. So this could be a time when you explode on someone at work, when you just have overworked yourself, or when you need time to yourself. Or it could be a health situation as well, because that's also the 6th, 12th house. So just be really aware of your health around that time. Things can come out of left field. So just something to note down on your calendar. But then what's interesting is the new moon in Scorpio is the 13th. Scorpio is your 12th house. Retreat, reflection, transcendence, release. So new ways of getting into that spiritual alignment. And it's opposite Uranus change in the 6th house of work, health, and habits and healing. So it's like, I need to do this a new way in these areas. And that's what the new moon is having you set intentions for. Now, the 14th through the 16th, we've got Mercury sextile Venus. Okay. Mercury in your first house of self, Venus in, let me make sure I'm right, your 11th house of, here we go, friends, networking, long-term aspirations, and goals. So Venus is bringing some really nice love and balance to that friends area. And Mercury is bringing some thought and some communication to the identity area. So it seems like you're able to really be seen and really communicate who you are and what your needs are and how you want to be perceived to the larger group and to network. Sextiles are opportunity. So this is a great time to be seen and to network and to move forward towards your goals, November 14th through 16th. November 17th is the Mars Cazimi, which is very empowering. It's in your 12th house of retreat, reflection, transcendence, and release. Mars is ego, Mars is passion. It's meeting up with the sun, which is what the Cazimi is. And you're getting you're kind of going to be imparted with a message in the 12th house. I don't think there's any other way to see that. The 12th house is really abstract. So this being such a spiritual area with a spiritual sign, Scorpio rules the occult. It's powerful, but it also may be something that is abstract, and it's just a message you get about which way you're going, what you really want, your actions, where they need to be placed, and things of that nature. So it's really powerful. All right, let's go on to the 22nd and 24th when the sun moves into Sagittarius, Mars moves into Sagittarius, and then we have a full moon in Gemini. Okay, this is going to involve 4 places in your chart, the fundamental places. First of all, the sun moves into Sag, and then Mars moves into Sag. That's your first house of self, identity, and independence. It's going to square Saturn again in your 4th house of home and family. So there could be obstacles in both of those places. The same thing happened on the 10th, don't forget. And then on the full moon in Gemini, it's the 7th house that gets added in, relationships. So the full moon in Gemini is like chilling, like, yeah, let's have a social interaction. Saturn in your 4th house is like, oh yeah, but your mom's at home having a meltdown. You got to go home and check on her. That's kind of the situation. Or, your pipes need looking at, so you can't go to the party. That's the kind of obstacles that might be happening. And I think you have to really tune into what it is that your goals are, what it is that your ambition is in order to kind of make it through that. But definitely attend to the home stuff. That's where your work is. That's where Saturn is during that time. Okay. The 29th, Venus conjoins the South Node. This is the last time that this happens for a while. Venus hits the eclipse point in your 11th house of friends, goals, long-term aspirations. So you may be doing away with something there, adding something to the compost bin. If it was a goal you don't need anymore, that's going away. If it's a group of people, that could also be going away, and you could be separating from it around that time. All right, guys. Thank you so much for your patience and me putting these out. I hope you guys enjoy them and they help you plan at least your November. I'll be back in December for the full moon and the new moon, actually. The new moon in Sagittarius and the full moon in Cancer, if I'm not mistaken. And then maybe I'll even go into January a little bit. All right. Thanks, Sagittarius rising. Catch you on the flip side. See you in December.